Good evening, everybody. My name is Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter. Today is Friday, May the 16th, 2025. Welcome to my Flosstube channel. If you are new, welcome. This is a channel where I talk about all my cross stitch, and if you are returning, welcome back. I'm not sure how long this one is going to be. Trying to keep it a little on the shorter side today. We'll see. My kids are here this week, so if you hear any background noise, it is them. Okay. A few things I want to show you. Real quick, I hope everybody had a fabulous Mother's Day that celebrates it last Sunday. My family came over to my house and we did brunch, and I got, let me show you the shirt that I got from my mother. It says, "I cross stitch past my bedtime." I don't know where she got it from. All of my cross-stitch related shirts come from her, and I don't know where she gets it from. Hey, Mr. Whiskers, you gonna come over here? She also delivered a couple, no, he's going right back out the door. A couple FFOs she brought over for me. If you are new, my mom is a stitcher too, but I stitch the things and she finishes the things for me. So, first thing, that I want to show you is she made me, this is from Pantini. She has like a Just One More series, and this one was Just One More Chapter and Other Lies I Tell Myself. And I did this with the called for colors, and I did it 2/2 on a 28 count even weave. It was just some little piece, I don't know what color it is, there's just some little piece of fabric I picked up at like a craft store somewhere like decades ago. I've had this fabric for forever, but that's what it looks like, right? And she turned it into a pillow. Isn't that cute? Not only is it a pillow, it's a book pillow. I don't have a book. I do have a tablet. She turned it into a book pillow for me. Isn't that so cute? Isn't that so cute? All right, let me get my tablet out of there. So she did that. And then the other thing, if you've watched me before, you've seen this. I have May's in here now, right? I think I showed it the first video for May. So that's not new. What is new is she dropped off a few more, the ones that I had there. And I do not remember for the life of me, because once she gave them to me, I was like, oh, great. And I put them in the stack and I ordered them. But I do not remember which ones I have shown you and which ones I haven't. So we're just going to go through them real quick of the ones I have finished. So February, I think this one was a new one. You guys didn't see this one. So she finished February for me. There's a gnat in here. April, I think April I showed you. Yeah, April I showed you. And I think June you saw, because I remember making a comment about that fabric. I remember buying that fabric. August I think is new. And these are from look at that fabric, that's so pretty. These are from the Little House Needleworks series, Calendar Girl series from 2014. And then last one is, you saw May, and then September. Isn't that cute? So yeah, so I'm missing July. I haven't done July yet. So, but when June rolls around, I'll put June in there. So, all right, let me just put this down here. Let's go ahead and do my board. Okay, so here's my board. I had to switch to a green marker because my red one died. But I do not have all of the Monopoly stitching finished. Elegant Witch, I should have just left it, because I'm like a day behind on Frederick, and I should have just said, no, let me just work on Frederick and I'll just save Elegant Witch for next week. But I was like, oh, maybe I could get it done. Yeah, no, there's a gnat. Did I say that already? There's a gnat in here and it's driving me crazy. But I did work on everything, but I still have to do Elegant Witch. So I'm going to hold off until next week for a new Monopoly round. Partly because technically the round isn't done, technically, but also I'm trying to not make this long because one, I'm tired, it's been a long day, and two, I don't have any food in the house and the kids have to eat dinner. So I have to go to the store when I'm done. And I am a day behind Frederick, but I will get caught up, no worries. And did I get it? No. Yes, no. Freaking gnats. And I'm catching rays. I've been staying caught up on Andrew's marathon challenge. And then these here, starting with number 4 down, these were all my spin for 500s. I'll go over that in a bit. But these were all my spin for 500s, and I was able to get 500 stitches on all of those. So that's exciting. So let's go ahead and show the whips. We also will need to pick 2 whips of shame to vote on for next month's, for you guys to vote on for next month. So we'll do that today. Okay, so first one up is my whip of shame for the month of May. For the new people, I have a bunch of old projects that are very, very old, like 10 plus years. And I rotate through them once a month. I do 100 stitches a day for that month. So this one, the one for May, is Frederick. This is from Creative Accents. It is still available through Dimensions. I think it might be available through maybe another company as well. It is designed by Charles Wysocki, and that is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I'm using everything that came in the kit. It is on a 14 count black Aida, and this is where I'm at with it now. I did 595 stitches this week. So my plan of attack this week was, because there was a lot of black stitching that had to be done, I would do a length of black, and then I would do a length of the top part of the bookshelf here, and then whatever was left over for that 100 for the day, I would like throw some small stitches in here and there. So I still have to fill in, no, that's done. I still have to fill in here, and I think there might be some stitches up in here, and then like up here I have to do cross stitching wise, and then of course back stitching in there. But I did finish all the cross stitching in the kitty. No, I didn't. No, yes I did. Yes I did. Those spots are black stitches. That's why I was like, no I didn't. No, yeah I did. And I've been working a little bit down here as well. I was trying to get Gracie. So that's where I'm at with him. And I worked a little bit over here too. Just a little bit, not much. But 595 stitches on that. I still have to do the, in right there and right there. It's a blend of like a dark gold and a gold metallic. I was trying to save that until I had like more areas that I needed to do that, so that I could just knock it all out at once, but I might just have to suck it up and do it anyway. So let me put that in here. Okay. And then next up, let's go ahead and do some of the Monopoly stitches. So I'll show you Elegant Witch first, because that's sitting on top and it's not in a bag, because I was working on it last night. So this is from Monopoly. This is Elegant Witch. It is a pattern by Maya Stitch on Etsy. That's M-I-Y-A. I have a few of her patterns. I like them. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm using the called for DMC, and I'm stitching it 2 strands full cross on a 14 count Aida. It's just one of the rolls of Aida that I picked up at like Joann's or something way back in the day when they were still open. I don't think they've officially closed, but I don't know. I haven't been in months because the last 2 times I went, they had like nothing. So I said, forget it. And this is where I'm at now. So I got my 300 I have 300 out of 600 stitches done, and I've been working in the witch's hat up here. So I'm gonna get all the cross stitching done in the witch's hat, and then I'll probably go ahead and just back stitch it to get it done. That way it's finished, because I have to finish back stitch that one, that one, that one. So, and there's some other stuff too, of course, but I'll just keep working my other 300. I'm gonna keep working on the hat there. So let me put this over there because I gotta work on that. Okay, then the next one I'm going to show you is another Monopoly piece. And this was on Boardwalk, and this was stitched for one of the players that landed on chance and said do 200 on Boardwalk. This is Stitcher's Paradise Sal. This is a stitch along in the World of Cross Stitch magazine from 2023, I think it was. And it's designed by Doreen Jones. Gotcha. Say hello, Gracie. Hi, Gracie. Oh, let's take a kitty break for a second. Hi, Gracie. Say hello. Hello. Okay. All right. Stitcher's Paradise set. Designed by Doreen Jones, World of Cross Stitch Magazine 2023. I am currently in that right there, just the first one. And I'm doing it with the Call for DMC 2/2 full cross on a 28 count white opalescent Lugana. To think about that really hard. Okay. And here is my 200 stitches. So as you can see, I basically got this part of the needle book thing, the stitching part, like kind of outlined. So I just got to finish filling that in. And then I went ahead and started getting that one worked in. And then I started bringing that down. See how sparkly? Ooh, it's so sparkly. But yeah, that's where that is right now. So I will continue plugging away at the first part. That was part 1. I'll continue plugging away at part 1 whenever it gets landed on a Monopoly until that gets done, and then I'll move on to part 2. Okay. Next up is going to be coffee break. I've actually worked on this for a couple weeks now. Is it 3 weeks I've worked on this now? I don't remember. I know it's at least 2 for Monopoly. But this is by Design Works. Artwork is by Krista Hamrick. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm doing it block by block, like doing it in its entirety before I move on to the next one. And I'm currently in the Turkish coffee. I'm using everything that came in the kit, and it is being stitched on a 14 count white Aida. It's so wrinkled. I don't iron. Where is my, I don't even know where my iron is. I think it's in the laundry room, I think. I'm not sure. But that's where I'm at with it now. So I got my 200 stitches in. So this part of the border is filled in. I still have to bring this out and bring it up. I was working in the cup some. So yeah. Got 200 stitches on that. Love it. I really like this project a lot. Like a lot. You wouldn't tell in the condition that it's in. Maybe you could. Maybe that means that it's well loved. I don't know. Of course, if it was well loved, it'd be further along, right? Maybe. Okay. There's that piece. And then, not yet. Next up is, okay, so the dog landed in jail again. freaking dog. I told Alara, I said, and I told somebody else too, I don't remember who though, maybe the dog keeps landing in jail because I don't tell him that he's a good boy. So he thinks he's a bad dog. So maybe the next round before I roll, I'll tell him that he's a good boy. Maybe he'll get out of jail. So the dog landed in jail and I had to do 200 stitches on my jail piece. And this is Dimensions Gold Collection. This is Rocky Point. This is one of my whips of shame. So I actually really like this piece. So I will say that if I'm playing Monopoly, like if this is in the, you know, just for example, because we got to pick two to vote on. So just for example, I almost called it Rocky Road. If Rocky Point ends up being one to vote on and you guys do vote on it, like if it ends up being one pick to vote on, I'm okay with it being in Monopoly and as a whip of shame, because I do really like this piece and I really need to get some more work on it. So anyway, this needed 200 stitches. I'm using everything that came in the kit and it's on a 18 count ivory Ada. And I decided instead of working in the house, I would work on the lighthouse. And so that is where I'm at with it now. So yeah. So that got 200 stitches. And so every time the dog rolls, this will get 200 stitches, like if he doesn't get out of jail. So there is that one. What else do I need to show you? Oh, one more for Monopoly. I got a lot of stitching done this week, which I was surprised about because I've been working a lot. Where is it? Hang on. Oh, there it is. Duh. Okay, so the last piece from Monopoly is for, I want to say somebody landed on a property and they already owned that property, so we just did 100 stitches on it. Gracie is behind the camera right now, laying on the blanket that I normally put on my lap, and she's just like over there making biscuits. It's so cute. Gracie, what are you doing, girl? Okay, so this piece is Mr. Cardinal. This is charted by the CrossFit Studio. Artwork is by Dempsey Essick, and it is 190 by 317, and it has 86 colors, and that is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I am doing this 1/1 full cross on, it looks like maybe a 28 count easy count Nagana. And that is where I'm at with it now. I got my 100 stitches on it. What are you doing? Stop it. Jesus. So I got my 100 stitches on it, and as you can see, there's a lot of parked threads because I am working across 2 diagonals. Doing that little 2 diagonal method I started doing. So I now am sitting at 1,905 stitches completed out of 60,230. I am at 3.16%. So basically if you're new, what I started doing with a few of my pieces is I took inspiration, honestly, from a few different people with this. I took inspiration from, Yoshi, you need to post your Flosstube, Yoshi. He has not posted in forever, but, I took inspiration from Yoshi, from Sarah the Stitching Mommy, and Ninja Stitcher, who has not posted in a few years. So I hope everything with her is okay. So I'm going across 2 diagonals. That was kind of me. The 2 diagonal thing was me. So I guess I inspired myself. And I'm kind of doing a little bit of typewriter method, which is what I got from Sarah. And where I'm just kind of picking symbols. I got that gnat, by the way. I smushed them into my fabric. No judgment. But it's where it's in, I'm not stitching there, so it's okay. But anyway, I cut the gnat. That's the important thing. So kind of doing a little bit of a typewriter method where I'm picking symbols going across the very top. But I'm also inspiration from Yoshi. I'm like kind of carrying that thread, but I'm not stitching if there's no stitch present above it. So the top 2 rows in that diagonal are done. So, and that's what, because I was doing this kind of cross country, but yeah. So there's that. Looks really good so far, the little bit I do have done. I'm really liking it. I'll be very excited to get to the cardinal. I like cardinals. They're pretty. Okay. That was all the Monopoly stitching. Okay, so next thing we're gonna go through is my what did Andrew call it? The Mania 500. So Andrew the Runner Stitcher, I'm gonna link his channel down below because of the marathon stitching. But Andrew the Runner Stitcher, he got this idea from someone else, but he's doing like a Mania 500 where he has all his projects on a wheel and he does a wheel spin and then he does 500 stitches on that project when the 500 is done. I think Bonnie at Thread the Needle does this as well. So it's not like, I mean, this is an old idea. This is not anything new and innovative. But I was like, you know what? I want to try it too. Now I have a hair. First it was gnat, now it's a hair. I feel like I'm about to pull a hair out of the side of my head. But I decided I want to try it too, but I have 200 projects, so that would take forever to go through. So Leanne at Small Town Stitches does that too, but she does 1,000 stitches on hers, which I was liking the 1,000 stitch idea, but I was like, I really would have to cut that down. So we might make some adjustments in the future, like next year maybe. Anyway, doesn't matter for right now. That's next year plans. Anyway, so what I have right now is I have my not Monopoly, but my other active whips. So that was my full coverage focus to 1%, my non-full coverage for 4,000 stitches, the new starts I have in my rotation, the 2 projects I have to focus on a finish. And then I went ahead and threw the temperature pieces from when I was doing temperature stitching that I had to put on hold. I went ahead and threw those in there to try to get the 2,000 stitch goal that I had for them. I threw those in there as well. So we're gonna show these in the order that I spun them. So the first spin I did was Sugar Cookie House, which was one of my temperature pieces. And this is a Mill Hill kit. And that is what it's gonna look like when it's done. I gotta say, I really enjoyed doing this. My hair is such a mess. I wear a surgical cap at work. Like I wear like a hat at work. I don't have to, I just choose to, so I don't have to do anything with my hair. But nobody at work knows I have a floss tube. So if I come in like every Friday with my hair all done, they're like, who are you trying to impress? So you guys gotta deal with my hat hair. Okay, anyway. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this spin and just because it takes all the decision making out for me. I think that's why I'm liking it right now, because I've been very tired because I work 6 days a week right now, with one of those days being a 12-hour shift. And it takes out all the guesswork, because even doing the spins that I've been doing, saying, oh, well, for the non-full coverage, I'll work on this, and for the full coverage, I'll work on this. I still had to make the decision every day of which one I was going to work on and how many stitches I was going to try to push myself to get to. With this, I have all of them on a wheel. I hit the button, it spins, it picks the project for me, And I know that project, I got to do 500 stitches and I can move on to another one. If I don't get all 500 done in one day, I try to get to an easy stopping point of either an even 100 number or an even or a 50 number, something easy where I could be like, okay, well I got 250, so I need to get 250 tomorrow. And then once that 500 is done, I hit the button and it spins and it picks my next project. And it was quite enjoyable. I liked it. So anyway, all that, here we go. So I got 500 stitches on Sugar Cookie House. And the blank spaces in here are beads that still need to go in. I was trying to do, because I have some beads in. I was gonna do the beads as I go, but I might just try to get all the cross stitching done and then do the beading afterwards, because the beads, I only have one of the bags partially separated, and the beads are still in the bags they come, and I don't feel like dealing with that right now. But I'm using everything that came in the kit, so it's a 14 count perforated paper, and yeah, so there's my 500 for that. FYI, if you're ever doing a mill hill kit on the perforated paper, mine's on the right side, but so don't be like, oh no, did you mess it up? No, I didn't. It's supposed to be on this side. But I just want to say, check your paper before you start. So that's what it looks like, right? But some of the pieces are colored on one side. So that's how if you've never done a mill hill kit, this is literally in the directions. It tells you to make an X on the back of the paper, so you know where the middle is. So that's what it tells you to do. And so just a heads up, if you're doing a mill hill kit, just check both sides of the paper to see if one side is colored and one side isn't. I don't think the directions specifically said to do this on the colored side, but I would think that you would, since the other side's just plain white. You know what I mean? So anyway, so I got 500 stitches on that, and then I spun my wheel again, and I got Bee Gnome, which is another temperature piece. And I was like, oh my goodness, are all my stitches going to be on temperature pieces this week? That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm holding it back here because it is, this is the pattern. But this is, I got this on cutebroidery.com. I'm doing all the call for DMC. I'm stitching it 2 strands full cross on, oh no. It's a 14 count roll of Charles Craft Aida, and it's a printed one, and Fluffy Butt Nugget. Oh, I don't even remember your full name. I have the person who, Fluffy Chomper, somebody told me, and they had a really funny name too. Somebody told me the names of the colors twice. 2 times now they've told me these colors. I still can't remember. I wrote it down, but the notebook I have it written down in is in my desk across the room. So sorry, but it's a funny name. Fluffy something. I don't know. Your Fluffy Butt Nugget now. But I call it the color dog pea, but it does have a legit name like Sunset or something. Said Desert Sunset. I don't know. But anyway, this is where I'm at now. So I worked in the hat, and I'm almost to the top of the hat. Almost to the top of the hat. So, but that's where I got with my 500 stitches. So I enjoyed it. It's nice. I really like this piece, and I'll be very excited to get it done. So I got that 500 done, and I spun the wheel again. I was doing kind of going back and forth between this stuff and Monopoly, so it wasn't just like spin, 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 spin constantly. Spun the wheel again, and this time I got Winter Cookie Party. And this is one of my full coverage focus to 1% pieces. So I currently have 5 in the rotation. Once one, because I've done this a few times now. So once we see that it's getting like, not this time, but once we see one drop, I'd say like below 1,000. Once we see one drop below 1,000, then we'll go ahead and select 2 more from my list that is less than 1% for you guys to vote on to be replaced, to be a replacement piece. But this is one of the ones in my full coverage focus to 1%. Winter Cookie Party. This is by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Amy Stewart. I have the max color version. And this was a birthday start for me last year with Alara. I think she's doing regular color. It's 700 by 501. It has 240 colors. And I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on a, I think it's a 28 count, easy count Lugana. And when I say I think, I'm not really sure. It's either 28 or 32, but I feel like it's 28 because when I'm looking at it like this, I feel like I can see the holes better. So that's why I think it's a 28. Okay. So this got 500 stitches, and that is where I'm at with it now. So I completed this diagonal, and I worked my way across 2 diagonals. 2 diagonals. Anybody who doesn't know the meme that I'm popping up on the screen when I say 2 diagonals, in the US, there's a History Channel. I don't know if this guy is, first of all, I don't know if the History Channel plays in other countries. If it does, sorry, I don't know. But the History Channel, there's this dude, I don't remember his name, but he was like really into aliens, and he's like, aliens, it's the aliens. And so it's like I know in the US, maybe Canada, I don't remember, but it's like a very popular meme where he's like, aliens. So I'm like, 2 diagonals. That's where that's from. So, but again, doing that same thing where I'm working across 2 diagonals and picking symbols left to right. Well, the first row I did left to right, and then I didn't mention this earlier, the Ninja Stitch, Needle Ninja, that's who it is, Needle Ninja. She was doing a snake method where she worked across, and then she would go this way, and then she would go this way, and then she would go this way. And I worked across this way, but now I'm kind of working back this way. So I can get the park threads starting from that side. But I got 500 stitches done on this, and I'm now sitting at 1,953 stitches completed out of 350. Let me try this again. I am now sitting at 1,953 stitches completed out of 350,700. I am at 0.56%. So there's that. Okay, and then I spun again, and this time I got Snape's Library, and this is one of my new start rotations. This was a start that I kind of jumped on with Leanne of Small Town Stitches and some other people that I do not remember. Sorry. She was doing it with some other people, and I was like, oh, hey, I want to do it too, and so I did. She's also doing Snape's Library, actually, and I think Leanne, did you restart it already? I know you were doing a restart. Did you already restart it? I don't remember now. But this is from the Digital Artwork Company, and it is 800 by 800. It has 112 colors. The majority of it is $9.39. So I am in the upper left-hand corner, doing it 1/1 full cross on I believe a 28 count easy count Lugana, and my fabric's all folded up. Here's my 500. So it was, can you see all the detail in there? Look at all that detail. Isn't it beautiful? There are, believe it or not, it's not just $9.39. I swear. There's 11 stitches of 3 different colors. Where? Over here. I know you can't see it, but trust me, it's there. Trust me, bro, it's there. Okay, so I am currently sitting at 1,100 stitches completed out of 640,000. I am at 0.17%. So this is in my new start rotation, so this is not to get it to 1%. I just need to get a total of 3,000 stitches on it. And here's a milestone, if you will. My 939 has dropped below 231,000. I am now sitting at 230,844 stitches left of 939. So that's exciting. God. Okay. Let's see. Lachlan. Now it's probably going to sound echoey in here because he closed my door completely. Okay, so then I spun again one more time, and I got Sweet Bee. Not gonna lie, every time I look at this piece, it makes me think of the Eurythmics. Sweet bees are made of these. That's what it's gonna look like when it's done. I'm doing this with the Call for DMC 2/2 full cross on a 28 count Jobelin. I think the color is lamb's wool. Not gonna lie, I have no clue. I wanted lamb's wool, but every time I see other people's projects on lamb's wool, their lamb's wool looks a lot lighter. So it could be lamb's wool, and it could just be my eyes playing tricks on me when I see other people's. I have no clue, but I like it, so it works. And that is where I'm at now. I got 500 stitches on it, and that is counting back stitching as well. So I did, I got the beehive all back stitched. I back stitched, I finished stitching and back stitched all right here, and did half of, I finished this too. Yeah, anyway, I got all the back stitching done up there, but I got to finish this. There's like bees that go in there and stuff like that, and I didn't do all that. But what I did do is I came down here and I started working on this. It's going to say honey in there, but I did start working on this, and I did a little bit in the little deal that's above it too. So there's that. Really liking how it's turning out so far. It's very pretty. Okay, so that was all of my 500 stitch spins. Really liking doing that. It's a lot of fun. Okay. Next up, I'm going to show you my marathon stitching. So Andrew the runner stitcher, he's a runner, and he is training for a marathon that he's going to participate in end of August, I believe. And so he decided to combine running and stitching, and he has a challenge that for every mile that he runs while he's training, you pick a project and you do 10 stitches for every mile that he runs. So I have been staying caught up on it. I'm actually technically 10 stitches ahead, 12 stitches ahead, because one of the days I was supposed to do 90 stitches and I got carried away stitching and I did 102. So let me tell you what it is. So my marathon project is Catching Rays. This is my largest piece, and it is charted by the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Abraham Hunter. It is 1200 by 900, making it 1,080 stitches big, and it has 134 colors. Stuart from Stuart and Stitches is also stitching this. He is working from, I want to say, the bottom left corner. So I'm working from the upper left and he's working from the bottom left. And I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on a 32 count easy count Lugana. This thing is huge. It is the size of a bedspread. And that is where I'm at with it now. I did a total of 262 stitches on this. So really it should be 250 stitches was owed on it, but I ended up doing 262. So working across 2 diagonals. So I was doing it page by page, as you can see, but then I decided to convert it into a diagonal. So that's where I'm working at right now. And I now have a total of 27,863 stitches completed. Out of 1,080,000, I am at 2.58%. So yeah. So this will stay out because I'll be working on this almost daily until August. There are rest days, so like today is a rest day from what I remember. Today's a rest day, so no stitches are owed on it. And it also is part of my Monopoly stitching. Every time a piece passes go, I do 200 stitches on it, or if a piece lands on go, I do 400 stitches. So it'll get more love too, doing that. Okay, my last whip to show you is my focus this year. This is Honeymoon Sunset, charted by the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Abraham Hunter. It is 869 by 649. It has 133 colors. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I'm doing it 2/2 half cross on a 2/1 half cross on a 25 count easy count Lugana. And that's where I got to with it. I'm working across 2 diagonals, and I did 1,400 stitches on it this week. So I've just got this little bit left in the diagonal, and then it will be done. Right? Just that, yeah. So from here to here in that diagonal, I was working up the diagonal, and then I decided to come down so that I wasn't like, I don't know. I decided to come down once I got most of the lighthouse done. There's still a little bit left in the lighthouse to do, but that's the area that I'm working in. So pretty. I'll show you the whole thing in a minute. Okay. So I got 1,400 stitches done. I am now sitting at, and I hit my goal for May. So I'm now sitting at 242,771 stitches completed out of 563,981. I am at 43.05%. My goal for May is 43%. So anything this coming week and the week after is going to be extra, putting towards June's goal of 44%. Yay! I really don't feel like getting up. So we'll just kind of do it like this. You know what I think I might start doing? I know you guys really love seeing this, but I think what I might start doing is I might just show you the area that I'm working. Like do this, right? But I think what I might do is throughout the month, just show you the area that I'm working in, and then maybe beginning of like the first floss tube of the month, show you the like stand up, step back, show you the whole thing. I really don't feel like standing up right now. I'm already gonna have to stand up to get the whips for the deal. But yeah, I feel a little off. And I know my mother, thanks for the shirt, by the way, Mom. I know my mother will probably be like, you shouldn't have filmed if you're not feeling it, because I can tell when you're not feeling right. Oh man. It's fine. Everything is fine. Okay, let's do this because I don't really have a lot. We're gonna spin to see which ones we're gonna vote for Whip of Shame for June, and then I'm gonna grab those, and when I come back, we'll update the boards, show those, and we'll kind of go over plans. Okay. So, let me pull up my Tiny Decisions Wheel app, and Whip of Shame. So let's see now, if it's something that has been worked on recently, then we're not going to do it. Magnificent Wizard is out of the running right now because I just did that one a few months ago. Let's spin again. I was just thinking and double checking. Yeah, I just did that one a couple months ago. Okay, Goodnight Bears. Okay. And then the other one. What are the chances? Rocky Point. Okay, let me grab those and I'll be right back. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these boards updated, shall we? My marker. Okay. All right, let's update this board first. So the one, okay. So the ones we need to update on here are Snape's Library. This was 600, I did another 500. So this is now going to 1100. Oh my God, there we go. And the goal is dropping from 2400 down to, I can't hold this thing steady. The goal is dropping from 2400 down to 1900. And then the other one we need to update on here, two more. Frederick, I had 869 stitches. I did another 595, bringing this total to 1,464. And my goal is dropping from 2,231 down to 1,636. So I gotta get that caught up. And then my Catching Rays, the marathon stitching, I had 130. I did another 262. So my total is now 392. I had to find that on my list. 392. So there's that one. Okay. The focus piece board. Okay. I'll go ahead and do this one since it's sitting right there. What did I work on? I did Winter Cookie Party. I had 1,253 stitches. I did another 500, bringing this to 1,753 stitches. And my goal is dropping from 2,054 down to, I know you'd think, oh, can't you just do that quick math? Yeah, well, last time I tried that, I messed up. So I'm checking my notes. 2,054 down to 1,554. And then I'm caught. Okay, there we go. I was caught on my shirt. Did I work anything here? I don't think so. No. Anything here? No? Okay. Let's go down to Honeymoon Sunset. My goal is to get it to 50% by the end of 2025. My stitches I've done so far since my whip parade, I did 29,460. I'm adding another 1,400 to that. So that is going up to 30,860. And my goal is dropping from 40,620 down to 39,220. How exciting is that? We're below 40,000 stitches. And my goal has increased, or my percent complete has increased from 42.8% to 43.05%. Yes. Like I said, my goal for May technically is done. So all my stitching now is going to go towards June's goal of 44%. Okay, let's go ahead. This is one of my two Monopoly boards. So this is the other one. This has the railroads, utilities, and the corners. And the ones we have to update on here are Rocky Point. I had 1,200 stitches on it. I did another 200. So this is going up to 1,400 stitches. And my goal, all my Monopoly pieces have goals of 4,000 stitches. My goal is dropping from 2,800 down to 2,600. And as you can see, Catching Rays, well, if you can even read it, Catching Rays is on my Monopoly board. These stitches are, like, as I'm tracking them, they are separate from the marathon stitching. So I'm not taking the marathon stitches off of this goal here. That's separate. I mean, there's 1,080,000 stitches. I think it's okay to count them separately. That is all on this board. Okay, then the Monopoly properties. What did I work on? Enchanted Pumpkin? No. Hang on. Elegant Witch, that's what it is. Elegant Witch, I had 100 stitches. We'll go ahead and do the 300 that I've done already. So this is going up to 400. And the goal is dropping from 3,900 down to 3,600. And then I worked on Coffee Break. I did another 200 stitches on that. So this is going from 700 to 900. And the goal is dropping from 3,300 down to 3,100. And here it is. Stitcher's Paradise Style, that way down here at the bottom. I had 200, I did another 200, so this is going to 400. And the goal is dropping from 3,800 down to 3,600. I think that was all for, no, Mr. Cardinal. Mr. Cardinal, here he is. I had 600, I did another 100, so this is going up to 700. And the goal is dropping from 3,400, what number is it, 19? 3,400 down to 3,300. These boards poke me in the chest, right here, and it hurts. Okay, last board, one more board. We're back to 4 giant boards again because of my doing that 500 thing, my temperature pieces. Okay. So the ones I worked on were Sugar Cookie House, which is down here, number 4. I did 500 stitches on it, so this is going from 800 to 1,300. And the goal is dropping from 1,200 down to, hold on, where, oh my God, number 4. The goal is dropping from 1,200 down to 700. When these goals get done, they're just going to come off of the list. Like, I'm not replacing them with anything. I'm on the fence. Like, if I spin for Sugar Cookie House again, I may go ahead, because there's only 700 and I'm doing 500 stitches at a time. I may go ahead and just throw 200 stitches more on there so that I can get that goal done and get it off of the wheel. Let me see what else I work on. Bee Gnome. Down here, I had 100, I did another 500, so that is going to go up to 600. And the goal is dropping from 1900 down to 1400. And I also worked on Sweet Bee, which is up here. I had 300, I did another 500, bringing this to 800. And the goal was dropping from 1700 down to 1200. Here we go. So there's that. Okay. Let's do the whips of shame for June real quick. Okay, so you saw one of them already. How crazy is that Rocky Point got picked? So Rocky Point by Dimensions. It's a Dimensions Gold Collection. I didn't say the artist the first time. It's by James Hemsworth. I've had this project for years. And I mean, you just saw it, but I'm gonna show it again just because of what we're doing. So that's my starting point. So 18 count ivory Ada. And yeah, so there's that. And I don't know how long, both of these I've had for a long time. The other one is, and I did double check because I was like, oh, I think I worked on Magnificent Wizard. Yeah, I double checked my list, I pulled it out, and I was right. It's not supposed to, it's out of the running for I think a couple more months. So the other one you can vote on is Goodnight Bears. I worked on this, I think at the beginning of the year or end of last year, I think. But this is Goodnight Bears. It's a kit by Designs for the Needle by Jan Lynn. Designed by Fiona Jude. And I'm using kit stuff. So it's like 14 count white Ada. And that is my starting point. So last time I worked, I have worked on this for the Whip of Shame before. And I got like all of this done when I did the Whip of Shame before. So you have until the end of the month. Looking for the other cover photo. You have until the end of the month, oh my God, to vote between Rocky Point or Goodnight Bears. You can say Lighthouse, you can say Bears, I don't care, it doesn't matter. I go through and I read all the comments. I do it old school. I'll have a piece of paper. I'm gonna have Rocky Point and Goodnight Bears. I'm gonna tally mark every comment. It's fine. I don't want to do a poll, nothing like that. Someone suggested that to me before. I don't want to do that. I'd rather do it this way. So you can vote between those two. And I will be fine with either one, so it is okay. Goodnight Bears is technically, I think, is farther along. It has been a Whip of Shame before. Rocky Point obviously has a long ways to go on it. It is a Monopoly piece, so it's not like this thing won't get worked on because I'll be working on it at least for a few more weeks because that dog tends to stay in jail the entire time. Unless I tell him he's a good boy and he rolls doubles and gets out. But yeah, so you guys have until the end of the month. I will show this again next week as a reminder. But yeah, put your votes in the comment section down below. And then as far as plans go, I'm going to finish off the stitching for Elegant Witch. Get caught back up on Frederick, continue working on Honeymoon Sunset, and do the marathon stitching for Catching Rays. And I'm going to keep going with the spin, the 500 Mania 500 spin thing. I'm going to keep doing that. I'll just tap the deal and see what it lands on and do 500 stitches and just keep rotating through stuff. And I am allowing for repeats. So say I spin and it lands on, I don't know, Winter in the Village. I'll do 500 stitches. And then if I spin it again and it lands on Winter in the Village again, I'll do another 500 stitches. Now, I will say if it does it a third time, I will skip that. But yeah, I will, I am allowing for repeats, so there is a potential that some of them may end up with 1,000 stitches if they get spun twice in the week. So, I think that's everything. We'll do a new Monopoly round next week. Yeah, I believe that's all. So vote down below for Whip of Shame for June. And I think that's, is there anything else I have to say? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Maybe not. I could just be hungry. I could just be hungry. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I got. So take care. Happy stitching. Get a lot of stitches in, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.